I get afraid I'm going to say ass, like what, I don't know if there's an initial for ass to mouth, but those two things are like,
It's called ATM.
yeah, ATM
Yeah,
or
like where you
ASMR.
get your-
Not
I'm
ASMR.
totally going to mix those up.
There isn't even a
Nice.
T in ASMR. What's wrong with you?
Which is completely different.
Come on,
from
you
the
guys
prison
know.
wallet.
You guys know the audio
But I'll mix it
ATM, right? You guys know the audio ATM. It's where you put ass to mouth.
Yeah, ask them. Wait, what?
I mean, wait a minute, wrong one.
What if you ask for one and get the other and, you know,
What, you get like an actual ATM
Did he just say?
machine?
What if you ask for one?
what if you put those together?
ASTMR?
making the butts kiss? Is that what you're? What
is there an
Ass
ASMR
to
of ATM?
Sensual moaning
Oh God, yeah.
reaction. What the hell is it?
That would be awesome.
What does ASMR stand for? Audio.
soothing
Simulate.
audio simulation massage,
I think it's sensory,
Audio sensory.
auditorial sensory.
masturbation. Got it.
Yep.
One, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Chill Regular. My name is Jonesy, and with me is Sean, Matt, and David. Welcome back, guys.
right now.
Got him. We almost killed Matt, dude.
Died.
Kill me.
Oh, fucking A. Oh, I missed you, boys. I'm so happy we
shit.
are all here. Damn, this feels
Holy
good.
shit. Gary coming in with a fucking KO round
Just
one.
Telling you, man. You guys are the first people I've hung out with all week so far,
Oh no.
outside of my wife.
It's been like 4 days.
I know. It's a lot. It's a lot for
Oh,
me.
I forgot
man.
you're an extrovert. You need
We
that.
never.
I need it. I need energy
true.
from other people, man. I suck.
a fucking vampire.
Dude.
Oh, what was the name of that movie? It was oh shit. It was an old vampire. It was called Life Force, I think.
Ooh,
Or something like that. It was an old
Sounds quality.
I think oh fuck, who directed it? Cuz it was kind of it was after Alien came out and they were trying to kind of build on the success like the Alien kind of mythology and things like that. Oh fuck, who directed that? I don't think it was Joe Dante.
Alien vampires.
So basically, yeah, they would suck life force from people, but it was like a British film. And there was this female vampire, and she was Italian, so she didn't speak a fucking word of English. So
But she would just suck you.
she was naked most of the movie. She walked around nude almost the entire movie, but she would like
Just point me in the direction I
But
would.
they
press
wouldn't
play.
kill people. They would suck the life force out of them, and then those people would become like decrepit zombies. Like it was just really fucking absurd.
Those are all the
movie.
earmarks of a classic
I have to look it up now.
Oh, classic. What? You just stopped.
classic vampire film.
That's a classic.
He was going to say porno, by the way. Is what he was going to actually.
He's
That's what you're waiting for.
So they're like, what's he gonna say?
He's like, my mom listens
What's
to
he
this.
gonna say?
Fuck. So I had a friend of mine send me a meme this morning, and it said, "Is it weird how it's socially acceptable to put someone else's genitals in your mouth, but eating a Dorito off the floor after a few seconds is gross? What the fuck is this double standard all about?"
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
I thought that shit was fucking hilarious.
All right, real quick, just so I can finish this tangent. Toby Hooper directed it. So this was before he did, I think, Poltergeist, but just after Alien came out, because Dan O'Bannon, who was one of the original writers on the first Alien script, wrote it from a novel called The Space Vampires. And it's just when a space mission involving American and British astronauts encounters an alien craft, the humanoids within are brought aboard the shuttle. Back on Earth, one of the extraterrestrials, who appears to be a gorgeous woman, proceeds to suck the life force out of varying Londoners. That sounds like it could be either a horror film or a porno.
Is in parentheses, does it say through their penis?
It should. Oh my God.
Horror film HOR.
Oh, damn.
David,
Sorry,
welcome
that's
back.
Welcome
He's
back,
back.
bro.
Oh, there's that tangent.
Now, question. We grew up in a really interesting age where, like, they used to do pornos that were like VHSs where they're like story, quote unquote, storylines and all those. Like, that's what our parents jerked off to, right?
I have a story about that, but please continue.
But then when at our age, when we started getting into them, we kind of just got into like the clips, right? We never see a full movie. We're just seeing like 3-minute, 6-minute fucking clips.
Speak for yourself.
I know.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. I don't know when y'all started looking at porn. I still remember the time where I was trying to look at an image and it would load line by line by line by line. And like I had to wait like 8 minutes. And at that point, I could no longer stay hard. Like I was like, oh, she's got great eyes. Fuck, that's it.
You're like, I'm not waiting for the titties.
No, it took too long. And
You get like a phone call and it disconnects
Oh
you.
my God, yes. But we also, we had the setup where like there was only one computer in the entire household and it was in the living room. So like I had to do it between this like 1 hour window before my parents got home from work after I just gotten back from school.
Honey, why is this thing all sticky?
Oh yeah.
You're just sitting
My
in the
parents got
corner
a
like,
bill one day for like $180 because I was using a dial-up for like a porn thing. I didn't know it. I was a kid. I didn't know that it was doing it. But they're like, Matt, we got a bill here, and I was like,
Oh no.
I
like,
love that.
just a bill, like a lonely bill, is what I tried to play it off. They're like, no, it's for this sex site, and I was like, no, fuck.
You're like, Dad, how could you?
Here's the thing, I couldn't even do that in the moment. I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm sorry. But no, we had one of my good friends growing up. I haven't talked to him in years, but he was a very entrepreneurial type, and I ended up finding my parents' like VHS porn tape, and we were freshmen in high school. So my buddy was like, "Hey, let's do this."
We've
copy
heard this
them.
story. We've heard this
Oh, did I say this story?
before.
Fuck me.
You just turned into a David.
I did. I pulled a David. You're now an adjective. By
I haven't
the way.
heard this one.
Yes, you are.
No, I haven't heard this story.
Yes, you have.
Oh.
Go listen to the previous episodes. They're in there. Sorry, guys. We're not gonna.
Yeah, we're not gonna
rehash this.
Getting
one.
caught making porno tapes.
But I have a question though. So,
Yeah.
Because I have a kid and one day stuff's gonna happen.
He's fucked.
How did the talk go that your parents had and how did you respond?
So here's the thing.
Just don't come on the wall, okay? If you're gonna come on the wall,
I have a
clean
story
it up.
about that too.
Jesus Christ.
This is the sad part. So my parents, like when they knew I was like just fucking cranking down, my dad. So at the time I was really big into wrestling, and I think we've already discussed this.
I need to hear this again.
So I was big into wrestling, and this was the time frame when China, that really known wrestler, unfortunately she's passed since, but she did a spread in Playboy. And so my dad bought the Playboy
for you,
for me, and my mom didn't know he did that. So my mom was like, you need to have a talk with Matt about the birds and the bees. So I go into the living room. My dad goes, okay, Matt, birds fly and bees buzz. Here's this. Learn what you need to. That was it. That was the extent of the talk.
My favorite though is your dad was looking at the fucking pornos to give you, and they're like, "Look at this lady is androgynous as shit. He could be into ladies. He could be into men. This is a nice middle ground. I don't want
it
to, you know what I mean? I think this is a good way to go.
That could be true.
You
I
know?
would like to think that since he had taken us to like a WWF, because they were still WWF at the time, an event, and I think she was there with like Triple H and D-Generation X at the time. I would like to think that he was like, I'm going to
was the magazine unwrapped? Because maybe it was one that he wanted to see, but then he was going to give it to you.
It may have been used. That would explain some of the sticky pages.
Oh my God. Oh, Captain, no.
Nice callback.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, if you guys, I mean, there's only two of you in here, but like, if you guys had that talk with, how old are your kids?
Dude, I have the worst sex ed story ever.
Well, I want to talk about their children. That's awkward.
Have at it.
I feel bad for that statement.
Dude, me too.
Nope.
Well, how old are your offspring?
He's older than I was when I lost my virginity.
That wasn't the question. A very awkward way to answer.
I'm probably just.
So he's
too
11.
late.
Look at him. He's just.
So he's 12.
Well, he doesn't live with me, so
What, is he 11 or 12?
He's 15.
I was giving you way more benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, no, he's 15.
Okay.
So,
Oh, he's definitely just bearing
he's-
down then.
I don't know.
Dude, get that
he's-
fucking.
You know goddamn well what he's doing.
He's got that five knuckle
he's jerking
shuffle.
off. He's jerking the fuck out.
I think if he lived with me, I would know. I'm sure he's yanking
discovered
the
himself.
crank, but it's
He's learned the crank.
but
Oh my god.
Are you nervous?
I started that when I was 8.
Yeah, well, so
What?
Yeah.
You started masturbating
You
when
started
you were 8?
yanking it at 8?
Yeah.
Dude, when I was 8, I was
awesome.
accidentally getting high off my albuterol inhalers, not knowing what the fuck it was. How the hell were you cranking it?
At 8 years old, I was running around on a goddamn skateboard drinking Kool-Aid, bro.
Figured
Like,
things
oh,
out.
man,
I
the
guess.
glory days.
Early bloomer? I don't know.
Early bloomer, clearly.
you're like, oh, hi, Dick. Nice to meet you there, buddy. Let's go hang out for the next 18 years.
Wait, did he die after a certain point? What
I was
happened?
gonna say, like,
Is he not drinking
Forever.
anymore?
Let's be best friends
did
forever.
he move out today and I didn't know?
But anyway, well, David,
so
how?
I don't have an example of parents that actually know how to talk about this stuff. So I'm learning from scratch. So my dad, his talk with me came nowhere near sex, but it was his attempt at a sex talk. He came up and he said he was really nervous. He was turning red and he was sweating.
Nice.
And he took me to work with him one day and he told me that
What does he do for work?
I know that's a question.
I was helping him with some construction stuff.
He's
But
trying
like,
to sexually put a metaphor in for.
I know, he's like,
See, there's this nail.
trying to erect.
This is the worst talk that you've
That's
ever heard.
ever.
He told me that there's a island with men and women on it, and once a month, the women have something happen to them that makes them grouchy.
What the fuck?
And then when women are together, that this thing that makes them grouchy happens at the same time. So for a week, the men get off the island onto the next island and let the women be grouchy, and then they come back again. And I had no idea what any of that meant.
That's hilarious.
And then he
though.
stopped there.
the
And that
wrong
was the
talk.
whole
I
talk.
don't think
That's the whole fucking
That's exactly
I
the
was-
wrong talk.
I was raised with like Christian parables, so I thought it was maybe this parable I would understand one day.
At some point,
So
He was talking about periods, bruh.
Yeah.
that's not even the sex talk.
no,
that is
no.
a single component.
That was
of
the
sex
closest he
talk.
got to.
That's
was
all
it?
he could handle.
That's all he could
Jesus
handle.
Christ.
So yeah, I haven't had the talk, but
Dude, my parents, man, my mom,
Wait, what was your story? You were really excited about a
Wow.
sexual experience.
not a sex. Well, Jesus fucking Christ. So my mom was extremely Christian at the time, and when you start doing health ed, right? It's like what sixth, seventh grade, something like that. They start teaching about the birds and the bees. My mom never had the sex talk with us, but she knew that she wanted to do it on her terms, not the school's terms. So she signed my brother and I up for sex ed with your parent classes.
That's awful.
Well,
And for
That's a choice?
for 6 fucking weeks, me and my brother would have to go take sex ed classes and learn about birds and the bees with my mom.
Yo, that's terrible.
that's going to be extra awkward with your mom than even with your dad.
That's like even worse. Like I remember being awkward.
Oh, it gets worse.
Well, yeah. Oh, please continue that.
It gets worse. So you go through the whole entire reproductive system, and then we talk about sensuality. Then we talk about
Jesus.
like actual intercourse and
Foreplay?
the purpose of intercourse. And my mom's sitting there like, yep, pay attention, boys. Right. So second to last class, they basically say you can either choose an egg or a thing of flour to be
Oh, the
your
baby.
for
Yeah.
the week, that whole thing.
I
And so
forgot about that shit.
my brother left his in a fucking drawer and says, like, my daddy.
And lo and behold,
Lo and behold, here he is now. I'm just like, holy shit, he's actually raising his kids like that egg.
put him in the drawers.
Just put him in drawers and saying,
Attaboy.
see you later.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
he's figuring it out.
He's figuring
He's
it out.
figuring it out. Anyway, the last class though, the teachers were like, we're gonna see a live birth on tape.
Oh no.
Yes. And so my mom volunteered to show her birthing video of my sister.
Excellent.
And so we're literally sitting there and my mom's fucking full spread fucking eagle.
Oh my God.
My
You saw the
sister's
crowning?
crowning coming on out of there. It's so gross and fucking gory looking. It's so hairy. And I'm just like, oh God. I mean, my brother trying to look away and my mom grabs us both by our heads and she's just like jams us into her breast and she's just like, you watch this. This is beautiful. And she's sitting there like reliving it. Me and my brother like, oh,
Explains so much.
Crying is happening for different reasons,
for
right?
different reasons in that moment.
So
Yeah.
much.
And,
Jesus, I feel traumatized.
And she wonders why I don't ever want to have kids.
But you still want to have that sexy time.
Dude, I do. I just don't. And that was my foyer into sex ed.
Wow.
Did any of you guys get caught by your parents?
Yes.
I almost got caught by my parents.
100% I got caught.
What happened?
think so.
What happened though?
Did I not tell the story? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this is good.
So this ties in directly with me being at that computer that I had. I had that like brief little hour or so.
The slow loading images.
With the slow loading, exactly. So I was bold this day because my mom was already home, but like she would take a nap when she got home from work. She's an adult. I get it now. You know,
I got you, Mom.
I get it. When I was younger, I was like, why are you taking a nap? And like now that I'm an adult, I'm like, I want to fucking nap all the time. But so she goes to take a nap. And so I'm like, all right, here we go. So like we have one. So the setup was like we had our living room. There's the computer set up in the corner. There was a open like kind of doorway that led into the kitchen. And then there was the kitchen that then segued into the family room, and then to another hallway where my mom would whatever, do all the sleeping stuff. And I know,
To do all the sleeping
great
things.
descriptions.
She just ran upstairs and flipped her bean. That's what she was doing. She's like,
Probably,
give me
she
a wake,
probably was.
goddammit.
That's actually funny you mentioned it. She may have been doing that, but I would, I posted up on the chair.
The truth comes out.
And then I had something came out. I had my pants around my ankles, and I was like, "Here we go, game time." So I pull it up. It's
commitment.
It's commitment. It really was. And I had timed it out, so I knew I had like maybe 25, 30 minutes, and I was like, "All right, let's do this."
It's a long time.
I had to load pages. Let's be real
that's
here.
right. That's right.
Nowadays, if I need to,
That's
2 minutes, I'm
that's
done.
two images right there.
Yeah, done.
Right. I had to really pick and choose. So I get a video up, and I spend the majority of like the 10 minutes just waiting. I'm just staring while hoping. And, finally something comes up and it's great. I couldn't even tell you what the video was. But, as I'm just bearing down, I hear way too late. Because normally I could hear my mom's door opening. So I could base up I would have time if I needed to. I didn't hear the door open this time. The only thing I hear as I'm just fucking punching the clown is
That poor clown. I just wanted to make you happy.
It was a squeak, and there were some tears. They just were a little different colored in consistency. So all I hear are her footsteps in the kitchen. So it's right on the other side of me, and I panic. So I'm not even thinking. I'm not even pulling my pants up and doing nothing. I immediately go to try to X out of the window, but I went too fast. So the screen froze on a big old pair of titties. It froze on titties.
Yes.
And I'm still clicking the mouse trying to get off it instead of oh, this is fucked. Let me pull my pants up. Unfortunately,
Or turn the monitor off.
yeah, that was the other thing. I could just turn the monitor off. Didn't think about it in the moment because I panicked. So I have, my wang dang in my hand, and my mom she walks in the doorway, and I just have my head down. She looks at me for maybe half a second. And then she proceeds to walk over to the couch directly behind me. She grabs a magazine and starts reading. And it's silent for a good 10 seconds. And so I finally stop and I'm like, "Mom, can you please go? I'm really uncomfortable."
No.
She burst out laughing and didn't move.
She knew?
No, she sat right there. She didn't give a fuck. Oh. So I had to shamefully pull my pants up. It finally X'd out of the screen, and I just sat there. And all I hear my mom goes, "Well, do you want to talk about this?" And I was like,
No, she didn't.
and I go, "No, I know what I did." She goes,
Fucking
Okay.
winning.
We're gonna, yeah.
she's like, "Okay." And that was it. That was the end of it.
That was all of it.
That we never got brought up again. I've told the story many times, but she has never brought it up once, and I love her for it. But that was just the most horrifying moment.
That would also have been a horrible alternate reality if you had turned the monitor off and then having to go back to the computer, turn it on, and try to close out that image.
Oh, yeah,
Of
I mean-
her going up to the computer and turning it on herself.
If she wanted to use it, she's like, "Oh, I need to use the computer." I'd be like, "No."
No.
I mean, at that point, I probably could have just shoved the button and held it till it turned off.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, but in the moment, I didn't have that clarity because I had not yet nutted. I did not have that post nut clarity to think as such. I was in mid punch clarity, which is gray.
There was no blood in the brain.
Right,
at that
I was
point.
Silent Hill fog in the fucking head right there. So that's my.
I've
story.
never gotten caught jerking off. I've almost gotten caught having sex with my girlfriend.
I feel like that's better though.
What, getting caught having sex?
Yeah, because my parents were
Not
scared
with a
that I was
Mexican.
lonely.
Oh.
Because they were like, I never went out and did anything. So I think that only fueled it even more. It's he can't even get a girl to touch it. That's
The computer's a girl.
Oh my God. He just needs computer. We should get DSL instead of this dial-up.
dick sucking lips.
I mean, if that's all he's gonna get,
Thankfully that changed. I actually
That's
became semi-attractive and I have a great voice now, apparently. I've
guess.
been told that by a
For
few.
radio.
For radio,
On
yes.
radio, yeah.
Face is much better when I don't talk.
I'm hard. Are you guys hard?
Ooh.
Or am I the only one?
For what?
I'll join you.
Nothing.
That's
never
what
mind.
this was for, I thought.
ASSMR. Oh.
ASTMR.
Nice.
Anybody else caught?
So I grew up in a house of 12. I've shared this story with you guys.
Yeah,
and
but it's still crazy every time I hear 12.
It's a lot of fucking people, man.
too many.
But there was one computer in the house. So the best part is no one really knows who's looking at what in that house.
Oh.
And I've had one of my uncles that was living with me and his wife were the weirdest fucking odd couple ever.
Were they, or were they just? It was a different time.
No, they were a very weird, eclectic, odd couple. And my Uncle Michael was into the kinkiest of fucking things. Like
Nice.
when I'm talking about kinky stuff, like ball stomping kinky. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
painful. Oh.
Like painful, just, good on him. Do your fucking thing. Right. But my parents found the porn
Oh no!
of his. And me and my brother knew that it was him. And so when my mom came, she was looking at my brother as like, are you looking at this porn? And my Uncle Michael's like, don't blame this one on me. Don't do it. And my brother's like, we just passed it around like it wasn't us. We're not doing any of that type of stuff, And my mom ended up she just blamed everything on my younger brother for whatever reason. And he's like, it's you, Michael. You're disgusting. And because
called
she
a
was
scapegoat.
uber Christian, my mom literally was like, we're going to church right now. You're committing your life to Jesus again.
my
You're going to
God.
go to hell. You better blah, blah, blah. And my mom would tell him just like, you're going to be a rapist if you look at that stuff. And my brother's like, oh, fuck. And my Uncle Michael's just like sitting in the back, just
Like,
kinda,
what a dick!
I'm glad
your
that wasn't me.
Right? Like, what the fuck?
It, though.
Like, at this
He's like,
day
I'm
and
glad
age-
it wasn't me.
Right. If that was me, I'd be like, yo, back up off your kids. Look over here. Look at the shame.
And
I am.
And to call a kid a rapist at that age, that has to make an impression.
Dude, I mean,
It's like, well, I guess this
my
is
brother
what I'm
got
gonna
it
be
bad.
now.
My brother got it bad. Obviously, over this show, you guys will hear more of his stories. But my brother just, anything bad happened, they didn't even look at any of the other 11 people in the house. They just went to my fucking brother and been like,
awesome.
you.
I mean, no
Why
wonder
me?
he revolted. It's
Exactly.
like,
my thing was my brother was just like, you know what? Fuck it. If you guys are
You're
going to
gonna
be
blame
me
me?
anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to be the one fucking doing it now. Fuck
Absolutely.
you. Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for it anyway. What's that?
Because you look so innocent back then.
I did.
Oh,
yeah, very
Christ.
much. No beard. I was just adorable.
Doubtful.
Very doubtful.
Thank you. Wait, Sean, have you ever been caught in anything?
I don't think I was ever actually caught by my parents. There was one time where my girlfriend had come over and, Mom, if you're listening, I'm sorry for validating this.
I hope you're listening,
this.
Mom. You're going to hear some weird shit.
But
Come on
so
in.
I'm getting a beach in the back of her car. Back of my girlfriend's car.
Oh, my God.
And I'm not really paying attention to the outside world at all, And I hear my mom's voice just on the edge of my consciousness going, like calling for me to like come inside because it was getting late. I'd been out there for a while, and I hear Sean. I was like, and I was like, oh, I think she figured out what's going on because we're both in the back seat. And I'm like thinking about like the angle of
There's
the
only one
window,
person's
being
head.
able to see into the car, and like there's no way she didn't see my girlfriend's face in my lap. And
She was just
She's
tired.
taking a nap.
Yeah, she's tired.
tired,
She's a little
just
sleepy.
cuddling. Neither of us mentioned it. There was no awkward conversation. In fact, that just kind of like went by. So I'm not totally sure if she caught me. Maybe she did. But,
Now's the time to find out.
Mom, if you're listening, now you know.
Leave it in the comments, Mom.
No, make
But,
it
just call it
confirm or deny.
I think the most awkward thing that had to do with my parents was when my mom, in front of all of us now adult kids, this only happened like a handful of years ago. We're all standing in the kitchen, and my mom sheepishly turns to us, and she's like twiddling her fingers like a kid who's about to ask us like a silly question. She goes, I have a question. And we're like, and me and my sisters and everybody,
adorable, Mom.
we're all, she's totally adorable. She's like 5'0" and she's the sweetest woman. And she's like, I have a question. And we're all like, well, what's up? She goes, what's bukkake?
Oh, no.
And like, we all like
Depends
go
on the
quiet for
country,
a
Mom.
moment. And
on the country.
my sister April's just like, nope.
I'm out.
Walks out of the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the only way to address that.
The other one's just cracking up. I'm like, okay, Mom. Well, you see,
Oh, you
and
explained it?
Totally.
Oh, my man.
You had to.
I was like, okay, Mom, this is
She
what
was
it is.
being
And
that
she's like-
adorable.
and she
You
goes-
gotta.
How many opportunities do you get to do
Well,
that?
now I know. Thank you.
How many opportunities do you get?
I was about to have the talk with my mom. Like, Mom, when
When a bunch of bees pollinate one woman's face.
When a woman and a man 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 love each other very much,
Oh, my God.
Oh, WMMMMMMMM.
That was the moment the child became the parent.
yeah.
Nice.
that happened.
My mom came home one time.
Wait, we haven't even let David.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess it's only fair that I answer my own question.
Yeah,
I guess.
I usually don't even talk about this stuff, but like,
This is why
Welcome
it's
to Joe
exciting. This is why I was
Regular
really
Day.
excited.
if I got fully caught, then I probably blocked it out and it's a memory that I don't remember. I just remember once where, I had discovered things and then I knew.
What does that mean?
I knew to sort of watch the door, and then my mom never knocked. She just burst in. So she tried to burst in right at the final moment of,
Did she see your O face?
Did it feel so good?
She saw the door hit her face really hard. I kicked the door, hit her in the face. And I think she sort of knew what that might have been about. She didn't get mad at me. It didn't get brought up.
She's like,
Yeah,
you know
she's
what?
probably happy.
I actually saved her.
My bad.
I just have a beautiful image of her be like,
She's like sitting there holding her nose. She's like, I deserve this.
that's when Sean yelled out, "That's bukkake" for something.
Oh God. These are fun. These stories are fun, gentlemen.
No, they're always a great time.
always a good time,
They're very
man.
human. I think that's why. Do we want to talk
thought you
about
had
real
another
things?
story.
Oh yeah, you did have one more story.
I have so many though.
Oh, do we want to save it for another one and we can talk about real event stuff?
No, this stuff I really enjoy talking about just because it's very human and they're all very, very funny.
Well, on a completely similar note, but still in the realm of entertainment. So there's actually a movie with Robert Pattinson where he plays Salvador Dali. I can't think of the name of the movie off the top of my head. It's like Little Ashes or something like that. I can't 100% remember. Basically, he plays Salvador Dali and he's watching a couple have sex and he's supposed to be masturbating. Apparently he got really into it. So when you see him make a face, he admitted this, he was actually jerking off during that scene. And that is his actual O face. Yeah.
Good for him. Good for
There
him.
you go, ladies.
Yeah, I know. And he's even commented that's not pretty.
I don't think anybody's O face is really that pretty.
Well, it doesn't help that
unless you're a female.
he has the Salvador Dali mustache drawn on him. So it looks even worse.
Oh my God.
He's just
He's like the clock melting in that fucking scene.
he is. No, 100%. That was
God, that painting will never be the same.
Never,
The
ever will
dripping.
be the same again.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember what I was going to tell you guys. So my mom went through a really heavy Christian phase. And then when we got to high school, she ended up going into redeeming her
Heavy metal phase?
She went back to college to finish up her degree in cosmetology school. Not knocking it. Just she would bring home all the college girls to the house.
My man.
Dude.
My woman. My mom.
My mom. My mom. But here's the thing. My mom.
My ma'am.
My ma'am.
Sean
Did we
nailed
just
it.
find the fucking title of the episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
My ma'am.
Yeah.
So so good, dude. Me and the wife were together at this time already, so obviously nothing would have ever happened. However, they would come by in the most skimpiest fucking things
Nice.
ever. And my mom would just be like, "Isn't my boy handsome? Isn't he so handsome?" I'm like,
Without a
"Mom,
beard."
stop." I had basically this little fucking peach.
The little chin dirt.
The little chin, it looked like it just rubbed my bottom chin into fucking nothing. Dirt. Just dirty, just mud, basically. But the girls are just like, yeah, he's really cute. Wow, he's so big. He's so strong. I'm just like, stop it. Stop it, Mom.
You're like, ladies, stop talking about my penis.
Stop it. Yeah.
Stop talking.
Stop it. Stop it. So my mom's hanging out with these younger chicks, right? My mom comes downstairs one night after a binger she was on with these ladies, and she has her tongue pierced.
Get the fuck out of here. What?
Shit you not. My mom has her tongue pierced. And my mom is like talking like this.
That's
She's like,
so
"Dude,
great.
Dude, she comes downstairs, doesn't say anything. My mom wakes up screaming. That's how she wakes up. And she didn't say 2 words today. Me and my brother are just like, the fuck happened last night? And my mom comes downstairs and I'm like, morning, Mom. And she goes, morning.
Oh my God.
And we're like, are you okay? And,
Fucking tongue swollen up to the size of a fucking cucumber.
exactly. I'm like, Mom, what the hell is going on? And she looks at us and she sticks her tongue at us. And me and my brother go,
Oh my God.
"Oh, you didn't." She goes, "Don't tell grandma." Don't tell grandma.
Don't tell grandma. I was like,
grandma.
what the fuck did
And
you
I was
just
like,
say?
I know
how are you
exactly
gonna
what that is.
hide that from grandma? I don't understand what you're thinking about. I'm like, Mom, do you understand the implication of a tongue ring? And she goes,
I think that's even worse than getting caught.
I was like, all right. Respect.
Wait, was she single this time?
No, she
Was your
with-
father happier?
I mean, he had a bounce to his step. He came downstairs whistling. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Zippity
Good morning, everybody.
He's coming on down. I mean, but she
my
kept it for
God.
quite some time. Actually, she had it for like a year or two, and then she was just like, "Oh God, I'm in my 40s. I gotta take this thing out." you
Yeah,
know?
she's not a porn star. Like, you don't
Exactly.
need that
It was just one of those funny things. I was like, well, we know why you did that, Mom. I'm like, but my question became like, how did you get coerced into getting that tongue ring? She's just like,
Well,
don't
she
think
woke up screaming. She didn't remember doing it. There's no way.
I don't think she's coerced either. Like, I feel like when you
she
get to a
wakes
certain
up
point,
screaming. She didn't wake up screaming this morning. That's how she normally wakes
Like, it
up.
was
She's always
just-
screaming at
Oh.
somebody or
Oh, I
something.
misunderstood.
she's Hispanic. She's just yelling. In
Right.
general.
Yeah.
yeah.
Latina
See-
rage.
I think it's, it's interesting.
It's not racist. You all know it's true.
No, it's 100% true. 100%. I think it's interesting because I was at the pub that I go to quite frequently on Monday, and this dude came in. He works at, I guess, the Hooters across the street, and came in with like 6 of the Hooters waitresses. And he was the most obnoxious fucking dude I've ever heard in my life. Just like trying to brag about stories and how much he knows, like the 2 bartenders here. He's like, dude, you guys remember when we used to get drunk at fucking whatever stupid fucking festival for like 3 days? Oh my God. I was like, I fucking hate you, child. Go die. But at that moment, it made me appreciate being older in the sense that like, I don't need to impress anybody. Like I don't have, and I don't think your mother did to like fit in or impress. She was like, no, I want to try it.
Well, and here's the thing. As I got older, I was thinking about that time in high school because my mom literally like it got a little dark actually over time, but like the progression to it was pretty fun for us because like my mom started raising us kids at 19.
Yeah. She never had that experience.
She never exactly like she was a mom like at 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, my kids are in high school, junior high, they're kind of taking care of themselves. I feel like I can have a little bit more enjoyment for mine. And so she started doing some really fun things, but then they started getting a little too intense. You know, she was seeking affection through other means that was a lot more debilitating, but at the same time, it was fun to a point, right? It was enjoyable to kind of watch my mom break free because she was the matriarch of the house, really. You know, there's my grandmother, but my mom ran shit, you know? And so it was one of those things where it was nice to see my mom kind of cut loose, like
for sure.
relax, because it was either a church, like very rigid. And then she transitioned and we're just like, oh shit, this is actually kind of nice.
Rigidity like that always breeds a sense of rebellion, like deep down, like no one ever really truly, like I think some people do, but I think there's always that, and this goes back to the whole like Christian Catholic guilt. You know, there's always a part that's going to want to do something wild and crazy.
All right, this is our sponsor. Without our sponsors, none of this is possible. They fund all of this. Endangerous Jerky, made from only the most unethical, sourced, and rare animals on the planet. Endangerous Jerky strives to impact the ecosystem and your taste buds. With excellent flavors such as Pandalicious, Peppered Polar, and Bangin' Bengal, the last of the species never tasted so good.
All right, but here's my question. If you could, would you guys go back to being like in your 20s with the knowledge, mindset, experiences you have currently? Would you be willing to be like, yeah, I'll go relive those years with what I know?
No.
Wow, Gary was just like hard no.
Hard no, man.
Why?
Because think about it this way. You're still dealing with everybody else around you that are stupid at that age. Oh, okay. Doesn't necessarily matter how much you
Yeah, but
know.
I always felt that way about the people around.
Do you still feel that
sorry,
way?
Sean. We're friends in our
we're
20s.
right here, you cunt.
Jesus.
I mean, no, I'd say that I probably pick and choose the people I'm around better now.
Sure.
So now it's not such a curse,
Right,
being
right.
a genius, but you know,
Oh my God.
it used to plague me quite badly.
Nice. Good usage.
Can't, motherfucker.
David?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. I think I will. If I could change a couple things, I'd probably end up in the same place. But that would be cool. I don't know. I think I would. I was super sheltered, and I just went out into the world knowing nothing and super naive.
So it would be more of like an experience then, like knowing
I think
things.
I knew even less than people my age early on.
Really?
Follow-up question.
Yeah, I had a lot of catching up to do, like fast.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
With the knowledge you have now, if you went back to your 20s, if you had just had to, let's just say you had to, right? And you have all the knowledge you have now. Would you repeat anything knowing the outcome might have been negative for you, but ultimately, like, you would have had a negative experience, but ultimately would have gained out of it?
See, now you're looking at the butterfly
sure.
effect.
I have
You
one for
fucker.
sure.
You're talking about butterfly effect.
This is going to be
point.
very vulnerable of me, boys, but I have one very deep.
Something you know sucked.
cool story,
And you're going
bitch.
to put yourself through it again,
Yeah.
but you know that ultimately it's the right choice.
Wow, you're actually
100%.
very serious right now. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can see you
I
getting.
have one locked in, basically.
All right, let's hear it then.
Let's go.
I cheated on my wife.
Holy shit, we're
First-
going there.
First year of marriage.
All right,
We've been together since we were 16. I was
Fuck me, dude.
very, very loyal and all those types of things. And I ended
How old
up,
when you got married?
we were 28. 28.
You were
27,
together for
28.
12 years and then got married?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Well, we were finishing up school and all that stuff. She finished her doctorate. I was finishing up my master's. I don't know. We weren't in any rush to get married, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like it just was, we knew we wanted to get married, and it was just one of those fucking things, right?
Yeah.
But it was a wild fucking weekend. She was out of town. My buddies and I were in town, and we just got really fucking drunk, and we ended up getting something.
Just drunk?
Yeah. It was just we were just fucking drunk off our asses, and we ended up getting a room full of hookers, and it just got wild and crazy.
Fuck off. I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
Whackers?
Hookers.
Whackers.
Some whoas.
Some hookers. And I'm I don't know, man. Like I wear everything on my fucking sleeve. So, you know, she comes back, and I didn't tell her right away because it was like the weekend. She was like super stoked. But I told her the next day,
Wow. Good on you,
just
though.
right away, just like, yo, honey, this fucking thing happened. And everything, my whole world fucking crumbled right then and there. Right. Because it's like, here's somebody that I truly love, that I actually hurt. But it was also, I had a good time. You know what I mean? We had a good time. It was all those things. It was meaningless and all that bullshit. It was just a bunch of dudes. We were all just having a fucking good time. Right. But what came out of that, though, like the relationship you guys see now with me and my wife was because of that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so I think
Galvanized by it.
100%, you know, 100 fucking percent. I mean, and bear in mind, you know, we're not, relationships are never easy, right? Especially when you're together for that young, right? Because you want to have experiences, you want to, you know, test the waters, you want to try things out. And for us, we didn't really have a good model for marriages, right? My mom was on her second marriage. Her dad was married 4 or 5 times. Her mom was married 2 or 3 times. Like there was no real good model for any of these things. We're kind of just figuring out our own model. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we ended up learning. There's no roadmap to any of these relationships.
No,
like
God,
you
no.
make your own model, right? Your own love, your own relationship model. But I needed to grow up is basically what needed to happen. And that moment that this happened, I realized how much I love and care for this woman even deeper than I would have ever imagined. And so I did a shit ton of like interpersonal work to be a better husband and a better caring lover, if you want to say that, for her. And so I don't think like I would never take that moment back. Like I feel extremely guilty about it, but the things that came out of that, the stuff that bloomed from it, it's beautiful.
See, that's the thing that's kind of fascinates me because I've you know, growing up, I definitely viewed the world very black and white. If you did one thing, you were wrong. If you did one thing, you were right. As I've gotten older, like you just said, like it was a terrible thing, but like the experience itself taught you something, like
About myself,
about
yeah.
yourself, like
About us.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're like, you know, I did it. I don't like that I did it, but at the same time, like in the moment, it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that's kind of crazy. And I think people forget more often than not.
We're human, man.
We are absolutely human. So like when someone does something awful, everyone's quick to jump on the bandwagon. Like, demonize them. You know, they did these awful things. It's like, 100%. No, they're human. Like, unless you like, you know, murdered a baby or like,
exactly.
you know, had sex with, you know, every one of your significant other's family members, like something weird.
Jesus.
You know, that is very vindictive and angry. Like,
We just found Matt's next movie.
oh Christ. No.
Well, and what's interesting too is like I felt, I don't know, I like when we were in college and stuff, we broke up for a little while and she ended up cheating on me. But I'm like,
Wait, when you're broken up, that doesn't count.
no. She ended up cheating on me. That's what led to the breaking up.
Oh, okay. I was like, this doesn't count if she's broken up, dude.
I agree. No, we were I was in college in the South. She was in San Diego. We're like, I don't know, it was like 1,200, 1,400 miles apart.
Yeah.
It was a decent distance. It's just like, you know what? I'm here for fucking 2 years finishing this full ride. You're out there. Like, maybe we got to figure something out here. You know what I mean? And so she ends up doing whatever she does. And so, but I stayed pretty fucking straight and narrow. You know what I mean? Like, and so when I found out that she cheated on me, that was like heavy for me, right? Cause I grew up in a household where like, you grew up with a fucking Mexican mom, like any cheating that goes on is just like, chancla. Dude, even worse, man. Like,
worse than chancla? Oh my
it's
God.
a fucking car. Like they hit you with the fucking, dude, it's, I like that you're just pulling out any random fucking Rosetta Stone words from the air.
Me amo.
No, so I grew up, the rhetoric in my house was like, if you're a cheater, you're fucking dirtier than dog shit, and so she ended up doing that and I felt so heartbroken. And then we ended up back together because it was just, we're fucking young. We're fucking young, dumb kids. Just, it's stupid for us to say we're going to be together since we're 16 years old and we're not going to try to live experiences outside of that. Right. And so, especially at the distance we were at, it's kind of ridiculous. And so, but when we got back together, it was something that I really held as like, and this sounds really asshole of me, but I kind of just held it as just like, I'm kind of better than you. Because I never cheated on you.
Unfucking
till. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then literally all of that stuff, I was just like, fuck, babe, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And it took a long time for me to work through that guilt, by the way. It took years.
Oh,
years
yeah.
and a
No, that
shit
stuff
ton of
doesn't
fucking
go
therapy.
away
Because when you
quick.
hurt somebody that you love that much and you do something that questions, who you are as somebody that you've built.
Yeah, the
Right?
trust.
Not only that, just yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
you think you're this person. And then that moment, I just like broke myself down and was just like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And so just countless amounts of therapy sessions,
But
journals upon journals of just figuring out my fucking self so that I can be a better husband for somebody that I truly care about.
So
and love.
We know, Sean, you've had quite the experience in terms of life and relationships and love. I don't know that much about David. I know you have a family who is hyper against things.
Super religious. Yeah, very.
Religious and political.
Like, did you have anything like that? Did you have you ever had the experience of being cheated on or cheating on?
Oh man. So okay, I'll admit the worst thing first. Well, like the most painful thing, I guess. So I'm divorced, and my and it's gonna sound really bad, and it is bad, but it's anyways. My wife left me for her uncle who married into the family.
Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
What did you, dude?
her uncle that married into the family. That's like Clueless. You ever seen
I mean,
the movie
yeah.
Clueless?
It sounds like Mari, bruh.
That's
but so
This motherfucker.
That's
okay.
nuts, dude.
kids aren't
Yeah,
going to have
and-
eyes
and
too close
this is-
together.
I'm still studying relationships. I don't have like the best track record.
Yeah.
But the as far as like
I saw the X-Files episode.
I don't have. I think my longest relationship was 9 years,
Damn, I
but-
mean, that's fuck me, dude. That's a long time.
and
decent
then
amount.
and then I've had a few like 1 to 2 to 4 year ones. But this is speculative. So I have a question for Gary though.
Okay. Let's divert the questioning.
I don't
here.
know. I'll answer it more, but I really have a question I was
No,
going to
go
ask you
for it.
during yours, which was I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have a checklist of things when they get married that they want. And if they don't get the whole checklist, or if they feel unhappy for
Like
a
a
moment,
sex bucket
they
list
just want to
almost?
leave. No, not necessarily that. It's just like if they're not happy,
jumped
if
the
they're not
shark on
happy
that
all
one.
the time, then they like. There's a lot of divorce.
If
like
it's
a lot
not
of,
perfect, it's not
Yeah.
worth doing.
Yeah, that's a good
or
point.
they get bored.
Yeah.
But I feel like though a lot of the people that last are like, I'm gonna carry out this adventure. But I don't know.
So what's the question though?
what is the attitude that you think that? What is the thing that helps made you guys work
After like the incidents,
the whole time? Yeah,
Just
leading up
just
to
out
now.
of the 19 years we've been together.
fuck me, 19 years. Holy shit.
It's a long time, man. I'm very grateful. So fucking
That's
grateful,
awesome.
man.
I get jealous of stuff like that.
No, absolutely. That's like Notebook.
Bert and I were actually talking about this the other night, actually, because we're actually journeying into some fringy elements in our life and our relationship coming up here. And we may or may not go through with it. We don't know yet. We're just kind of in the wonder of all of it.
Fucker. All right.
And so, anyway, well, as we were talking about this, we kind of set a tone at the beginning of our relationship so young. At 16, we were like, look, we're young, but we're very, very in love. You know, I love that girl more than anything in the entire world, but I would never, ever want to hold you back from having a life or having an experience that you really need or want. Like, that was literally the tone we've had day one, first date.
Interesting.
And so, you know, me wanting to play football in college and get a full ride anywhere that was going to take me, I knew she wasn't going to come with me, but she supported whatever that possibility was, you know, and whatever she needed, I was always supporting whatever those things, even if it meant that she was going to be further away from me, it was going to make it difficult because, again, the foundation for us was always about letting us live the lives that we have, because religion and all that bullshit aside, let's be honest. We don't know what comes after this. We've talked about this on this podcast, you know, previously. We don't know. Maybe we'll meet up in heaven and it'll be great and all that stuff, but we don't really know. And I'm on the mindset of maybe this is all we get. And so I would hate to be a limiting factor for her and her life experience, and she would hate to be that for me. So we're just kind of in this place of supporting each other through that process. And I think in that we can, you know, the fuck ups and the things that we do that may hurt each other, may not hurt each other, all we kind of come back to is we choose each other regardless of all of the, you know, all the hurt, all the things that we're kind of working through, that if, you know, we cheated or, you know, even just the passive aggressive kind of like poking at each other or whatever, we know we wake up and we're grateful that we chose each other right now. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
And I think the moment that you stop choosing each other, that's when relationships tend to dissolve, right? At least that's from what I've seen. But bear in mind, you're also asking a guy that's been with one chick his whole life. So take that. No. As a relationship, though, right?
Okay.
Like, as a
Okay.
relationship, I haven't had relationships with other people. I've had relationships with one girl, and I put all my eggs in that basket, and I work really hard to keep that woman happy because I'm very grateful she's with me.
I'm being pointed at.
Damn right you are. It's your turn.
There's a lot to unpack there.
For sure, man.
Well, I was gonna say with Sean, probably if you had a kid with somebody, no matter how, you know,
Which I did.
Despite the ups and downs, you wouldn't give
Achievement
the kid back.
unlocked.
Like, you're like,
I wouldn't what? Sorry?
well, like when you have a kid, you kind of have this attitude, no matter how good or bad or ups and downs with the relationship, it's like, well, you know, I wouldn't give the kid back for that, to take the whole thing back.
Well, actually, that was my answer to the question that I asked about, like, if you did go back to your 20s, was there anything that you would do knowing that it would be detrimental to you, but ultimately the right thing to do? And that was, I would still go down the road that led me to having my son because, you know, I wouldn't give him up for anything at all, period. And even that, if that meant going through what his mother and I went through, which was, frankly, good while it was good, but then it became unhealthy quick. And that was a 2-person dance, you know? Mm-hmm. So,
would you say that was the hardest, I don't want to say time, but like relationship wise, was that one of the most difficult things to go through? That whole experience? I mean, knowing that, you know, you had a child involved and kind of
it was a heavy, heavy choice. I think people underestimate. I mean, I don't know. I think it's often assumed that if the father leaves or whatever, he didn't care or he's a deadbeat or something, but I don't subscribe to that because for me it was horrible.
For the record, Sean's a good man, so anybody doubts otherwise.
Now
I will fucking knock out everybody who says otherwise.
But now, no, like I said, I made my fair share of mistakes and I'll own them.
We all have.
man.
But it was really rough having to say to myself, like, do I want to push myself through this relationship, putting her through that and our son through that, knowing that it may not get better? Or do I cut and give everybody the best chance at a happy life and just hope that we can support our son through his parents splitting?
Yeah.
And so I chose the latter, and I think it was the right choice. He's got a great life.
Well, I think a lot of kids grow up and they're like, they also want their parents to be happy. They want to know them but they also, if they're going to be combustible together, they'd rather them be happier apart and,
Yeah.
and know them.
Yeah, I just didn't, my parents fought a lot when I was growing up, and I kind of, I didn't want to put my son through that, so I just felt like I could give him a better upbringing with her and I working as a team rather than being in a relationship.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of kids, like in those scenarios. But I've had 2 long-term relationships besides my marriage. Like my marriage was like, I had a son, so I wouldn't take it back. But the other long-term ones, one I would totally take back in a second. I would undo that whole thing.
I've got a couple of those too.
Yeah, and then there was another one though that wasn't gonna last forever, but it was like
Super fun.
I would do it again.
Yeah, super fun.
There's a couple that I dodged that I'm glad I did, and not always because they were a bad person, but because they were a good person and I wasn't, and I didn't want to destroy that. There was a couple that I dodged and shouldn't have, and then there's my current relationship, which is awesome. So I'm happy. I got to where I needed to be one way or the other.
Yeah, and that kind
It
of
always works out, doesn't it?
not always. Not always.
Not always.
No. I feel like there's a grander plan. Maybe nobody's really orchestrating it, but I think things work out the way they're supposed to work
So
out.
Marilyn Monroe was supposed to overdose.
Yeah.
Elvis was supposed to die in a toilet by himself.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's
Okay.
kind of asking for it.
I mean,
Oh my God. I don't think there's a grander plan. That's just me, though. But no, this goes back to what you guys were saying, or at least Gary was saying earlier. You were talking about like you guys didn't have an example of like a happy marriage, things like that. I don't think there is a great one necessarily, because I know of plenty of people who tried to stay together for the kids to show them a happy relationship, but
That's what my
they were
parents did.
and they were not happy, and then it has unfortunate effects on the kids.
I'll say something to that really fast, though, not to cut you off, man. My wife
But
works,
you did.
Well, you know what? Take a seat. The adults are talking. I'm just kidding, man. You're good. My wife works with a lot of elderly people, that have been in relationships. Like my favorite thing is when she gets to come home and she shares these stories about these couples that have been together for like 50 fucking years, and
I'll be you guys one day. Oh,
I know, man,
damn
it's
well
gonna
they
be
were
a-
swingers.
right? I hope.
Gotta.
You know what I mean? I fucking hope. Anyway, she came home and she shared a
Our
story.
swingers, not were.
Oh, that's kind of an image.
Yeah. That really kind of threw my story off right now.
David.
So I'm just in one.
You were happy that she would come back with stories.
There was one patient she ended up having, and my wife likes to ask a question to these people of like, you guys been together for so long. What is the secret that kind of keeps you guys in love and together? What's the glue, right? What's the glue? And she
Thank
goes,
you, Joe Pesci. What the fuck was that?
okay.
That's a Lethal Weapon reference for everyone who doesn't get that.
Whatever. So basically, this wonderful couple. The lady looks over at her, and she has this. She's from Louisiana. I think she's from Georgia, so she has a beautiful little Southern drawl. She goes, everybody thinks that relationships and marriage are always supposed to be so exciting. They're not exciting. Most of the time, we do nothing at all.
Aw.
Right. And she's like, and that's kind of, if you
point.
can find somebody that you can be comfortable with and still do nothing at all.
Yeah.
There's something very beautiful about that.
I absolutely
You get what
agree.
I'm saying?
100%.
I don't know, man. Like that particular story resonates with me through and through, you know, because I think right now the rhetoric in at least our society is, you go to college, you graduate high school, you go to college, you find a significant other, and
Pearl Before Swine.
right,
That comic resonates. I think that'll resonate for years.
yeah, I mean, and it's really really poignant today because right now, you're looking at a generation that's actually. I'm curious to see the next generation of relationships that come out of the, I guess, the zeitgeist of entertainment
Yeah.
today, because I think it's shifted a little bit, which I think is great, right? Because like think about our years of growing up. We're kind of growing up. We talked about this a little bit, right? With like Disney and Prince Charming and like all these fucking things, you know, the white picket fence and all those things. And then it's like, look, motherfucker, like that's where your story starts, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? And so when things get tough, we're not built for working through things. I don't think a lot of relationships. No, I think our generation too, man. I think also too, like right now, the divorce rates with baby boomers are ridiculously high. I think, but that's a data metric. Like, I agree. Yeah,
you know, I'm sure.
But what's your point to it being a data metric? I mean, data is
because I think there was a wider availability nowadays compared to like what the 50s, the 40s.
It's a social construct. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Probably right. Yeah.
You're not wrong. But like, I think there was the availability of this information was much more prevalent now as opposed to back then. I still think it happened probably just as much. You know, back then, I think
it's very different though.
It was different. I will give you that.
There's a really great book that we read, and Sean, I think there's a really great book about kind of how we became the, you know, what's the word, Sean?
Man.
No, monogamous. Thank you. And marriage and the history of like where those things kind of came from.
Are you reading a polyamory book right now?
It's no. It's not that.
Only if I'm a book and he's
my man.
I'm not going to carry on with what I was going to say. It was going to get dirty fast. Though.
Oh my Christ!
But basically, the book, something Dawn.
Dawn of.
I can't remember the damn name.
I want to say it's like
book.
Dawn of the Sexes or something like that.
No. I'll see if I can remember it at the break.
That's got to be a book title though. If it isn't,
Dawn of the Sexes.
No, I think Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Sex. No, I think there's Sex Before Dawn or something like that, or like there is a book like that.
Yeah, I'll pull it up real fast because it's gonna drive me fucking.
That's a cool story, bro.
Sex at Dawn.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Sex at
I
Dawn.
knew it was fucking close.
You were close.
That's
good call.
Pretty good.
Basically, Sex Before Dawn, Sex at Dawn, whatever.
But basically, it just talked about how we were.
Yeah.
You know, and then coming into where we are now. And it became this, you know, marriage became a very interesting construct. I think there's something very beautiful about marriage. I think there's something very unique and wholesome about that concept. And I'm very grateful that I am in a marriage and I would not want to change that whatsoever. But I do think that people hold very dear to the ideology of what marriage is and what a perfect relationship is. And when things get fucking tough, man, people tend to back out and be like,
because they think they'll find it somewhere else.
I don't know. And here's the irony, and from what I can understand, is the grass is not always green.
Oh, we're gonna fucking do this again. We did this like 2 weeks ago.
It's just not though.
Yeah, what is it though? The grass is greener where you water it. Fucking shoot me.
There it is though.
Yep. We've heard this. I've said this too much, sadly.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing. It's a cliche, but it's absolutely true. You know,
You can't say that too much, actually. I don't think.
Yeah, it's just reminders.
All right.
Remember
David coming in with the fucking truth. Like, yeah, I mean, I think people tend to quit things too often. People, like, it doesn't matter if it's relationships, if it's a career, if it's, you know, if it's anything. Like, I think with all of us, you know, in terms of the careers we've chosen, if we didn't have that passion or that drive, like if one bad thing happened and we quit, that's just a sign of like you didn't really want it to work out one way or the other.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, there's something very powerful about understanding when to call it quit.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a time.
And it's a very fine, it's a very gray area.
One thing I think you hit on that we didn't really cover is that you did counseling. Like some people, that's a dirty word, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
It has a nasty stigma for no fucking reason.
It's like you go to a doctor, and you know if you're not feeling well, you seek out counseling.
It's vulnerability. I think our country has such a difficult time with vulnerability.
And they don't give you answers. They ask you questions that help you search for yourself. Really.
Yeah,
and I think it's the biggest bonus or benefit to therapy is it's like you just said, they don't give you the answers. They ask the questions for you to find the answers, which then gives you a sense of, you know, catharsis, just that coming to truth with it, and which helps process whatever pain, whatever
but you
emotions
gotta be
you're going
ready
through.
Though. I think
absolutely.
That's a big thing.
It's like
too.
guided self-discovery.
You got to be ready for that, to be able to actually go through and do the work.
I actually had a conversation about this with one of my friends, a young female. Her boyfriend, you know, they're still together right now, thank God. But he had a huge problem with anger. Like he would just lash out unnecessarily, not in a violent way. He never hit her, never did anything like that, but he would just get aggressive with other people with like really stupid reactions that didn't need to happen. And she was like, okay, I think you need to go to therapy. And he had a vitriolly violent reaction. Like, why would you say that? I don't need that. Like, that's for people who don't, and
The irony.
I know, right?
The irony.
I know, it really is. I didn't say it then because I was like,
You may hit me.
Is that your past Matt impression?
You may hit me.
It's not me. No, but she, they had a good talk. Apparently a couple weeks they went on vacation, I think to Utah. And I think they went through, I don't know if they went through Zion, but that's a gorgeous place regardless.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. So, oh my God. But they had a good conversation and he just went to his first round of therapy, last week. And apparently he loved
Bravo.
it and was like very happy about it.
Dude, same thing with my brother. My brother, growing up the way we grew up, man, like being adopted and dealing with all this bullshit that happened to us as kids and all that, he needed to have some sort of psychological shift for him. And, I talk with him, letting him know I was very vulnerable with him, just like, cause he's dealing with a lot of baby mama drama and he loves his girl and he had a kid with her and like kind of a little David E situation. Not in a horrible way.
It has a name now.
Yeah. Remember we're using
Everything is being used for you are an adjective in
adjective
so many areas.
But basically, not any. I don't know your
Wait,
situation.
is it an adjective or a verb?
I think it's a verb.
Fuck, it is a
First
verb.
place, I think.
Ugh, I'm embarrassed.
Anyway,
Don't look at me,
Watch,
Sean.
somebody's gonna
Don't
listen
look
to
at
me
me.
like it's a prawn. It's a
Matt's a writer.
Let's not do this right now, all right?
exactly.
Fuck me.
He's like,
I mean,
I'm chilling.
Thank you, David. I was gonna say it.
no, here's the best part. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Anyway, my brother ends up, he's having a rough time with the girl that he had his kids with and so forth. And, him and I are just kind of talking. I just kind of floated the idea. It's empty. I ended up just floating the idea that like, look, man, I went to therapy. This is, and I kind of shared the same story I shared with you guys. Like it's helped me a ton, really kind of understand where all the feelings are coming from. And you seem to be exposing your feelings and all that stuff in a very interesting way. Here is some cash and you need
Nice.
therapy. So I paid for my brother's therapy.
Good. No,
Just
that's a
to
great
kind
thing.
of people have paid it forward for me so many times. It was just one of those things. Like, it just felt like, you know what, man, like if money is a barrier for you to get your mind right in order to have like an extraordinary life, like don't worry about the
don't
money.
worry about money.
Don't worry about money.
No,
Let's
that's great.
just fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? And so I gave him the cash. My wife and I gave him the cash and said, here, find your therapist. We'll pay for it and all that stuff. So he went about 2-ish months of solid, 2 days a week with the therapist
Nice.
and really started
That's
working
great.
through a bunch of stuff, and he ended up like realizing like his self-worth he was embedding in this chick that really doesn't value who he is as a person, you know? And he started just kind of doing the work to let that stuff go. And he just started dating and he found a new chick right now. It's very young in the relationship,
Hey,
but
good on
you
him,
know
though.
what, man? But he's starting to see that like I attached myself to something that I felt was of value, but it really wasn't right. But because you have all of that noise surrounding you, in your mind more than anything else, like he couldn't see the flower, well, what do they say? The forest for the trees, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm super stoked. I don't know if he's still in therapy now, but I think just even those 2 months have shifted just who he is. So I'm like, and my brother was the guy that was just like, I don't fucking need that stuff.
No, it's
like, fuck you. Why would you even say that? I'm
Yeah.
like, look, man, I'm not telling you because I think you need it. I'm telling you because it helped me a shit ton and I think it may help you.
And I think you need it.
Yeah,
But that's
It's silly for people not to even just go, even if they don't.
there's family members I want to do that with.
Yeah.
But my current girlfriend, we go to counseling preemptively. Nothing was wrong. We're just like,
No, it's good to
let's talk to
talk.
somebody. Yeah, and we have this old elder Hawaiian lady who curses a lot. So she'll just straight up tell you're
That's-
fucking full of shit.
that's awesome.
Nice.
That makes me happy.
And
So
I
good.
feel like I'm getting my money's worth because she doesn't beat around the bush. She doesn't she doesn't cater to your ego. She just tells you when you're fucking full of shit.
No, those are the best kind of therapists. The ones who, cut through the bullshit. They can see somebody
You
who's
need
not.
that. Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need an impartial. You can't go talk to your brother. You can't go talk to your friends. Like I love you guys, right? But actually, you guys are probably
more than likely we're going to give you some truth.
Give me some truth.
Not as great as
as an impartial person,
someone who has no context and be like, you're full of
whatsoever.
shit.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
that sounds like
We'll
you're
be like,
having-
you kind of got some bullshit, but I can kind of see. We'll get this bullshit gray area. All right, not to this is a very uplifting conversation. I don't want to ruin it too much, but how many of us here, by a show of hands, have had a one night stand?
I mean, duh.
Holy shit! Really, David? You're the only one.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
For those of you who can't see the room,
Yes.
David is the only one who didn't raise his hand.
That would be like I don't.
You're
I
a
don't
fucking precious little unicorn.
I don't fully understand the one night stand thing because I would actually be
You'd be dead.
I would be devastated if
Oh,
someone
devastated.
if like something didn't carry on. That would hurt my feelings a lot.
I fucking love you.
respect you, man.
No, I
respect
absolutely
you,
love you.
for sure.
I would say that the only thing, the biggest thing that I gained from a one night stand was the inhibition to try out things that I've always kind of felt, but I never had the capacity to. And I think that in those moments where like the other person, I was like, oh, there's nothing fucking coming from this. I go for it. And if they like it, I'm like, yeah. And if they don't, I'm like, nah, I was wrong. And thankfully I've really
Reps,
never,
dude.
yeah,
Reps.
reps for Jesus. I've never had an experience where I tried it and then, the partner was, or the girl I was with was like, no.
Nah,
Like more often than not, people are open to a lot of things that you're not aware of.
dude. Well,
Sean's like, eh.
I'm just lost in some memories.
Oh, how many? I'm sure there's a fucking library. You got like, what's the Dreamcatcher where he goes up into the storage room?
That would assume I could keep count.
The entire
all
half-
locked away.
Sean's brain is just nope.
I think one time my
One
kid's
file
sister,
box.
she goes, how many partners have you had?
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh God. And I started
Oh
counting.
God. That should be an answer in and of itself. How many parties do you have? Oh God.
And like I started like listing them off by name. She's like, you remember all their names? I'm
Holy
like, oh, and there
shit.
no, I don't. She's like,
Kristen, Kathy.
You don't
Sue,
remember
do you
their
want to go
names?
alphabetically or?
You do like the
and I started like asking
Yeah.
like, what are the qualifiers here? Like, like how far? And she's like,
how far? No.
Let's define.
You're like, is it like just a boob grab counts as like hooking up, or is it like a makeout, or do we got to
that's-
fucking finger blast and go all the way? I mean,
That's
what
the
is
funny thing.
parameter?
You can ask a girl, and I've actually done this once, but actually it wasn't a one night stand. It was a girl, like we had a casual relationship, but I asked her one time, I was like, how many partners do you have? And she was like, I think she said like 8 or 9. I was like, oh fuck. Oh, I'm a terrible person. But I decided to
Why are
switch
you
it
a
up.
terrible person? Could you had more?
Oh, way more.
Okay.
I'm pushing almost triple.
Nice. Good for you.
I went on a rampage in my 20s. It was not a healthy
you.
time.
Well, living the life that you have growing up, of course you would. You're
Right?
like, holy crap, I'm a good looking guy. Let's go, ladies.
No, first and foremost, I had no idea I was good looking until I was in my college years.
Dude.
That's why I was.
I'm in my 30s. I still don't know if I'm good looking or not.
You are. Don't worry.
Thank you.
But I
Fishing
decided
for that one, boys.
There you go. Go fishing. Tip up. I asked her and I was like, okay, how many guys have you given a blowjob to? And she's like, ooh. So, it's one of those things that shifts. Like you're saying, like, oh, wait, what are we talking about here?
Yeah,
We're talking about
yeah.
like just, and I fucking,
what
I was,
counts as fooling around?
yeah, I was dying laughing when she goes, ooh. I was like, I'm not going to judge
You're
you.
like, I see you.
Not everybody defines that the same.
They don't.
I knew a girl that she considered herself a
Anal is
virgin
still
because she only did
sex.
it anally.
Yeah, anal is still sex.
It still counts, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's hilarious. Like,
Sorry, David, you're not a virgin.
sorry, Dave. Oh,
No matter how
was
innocent that
saving it.
smile is.
But I was saving. My mom said,
is there? Okay, I'm obviously Gary. This is not you because the one that got away, you came back to it. Like, you
Yes.
does anyone else have one that you're like? I don't want to say the one that got away because I do think like I can think of 2 in
It's
my
a tough
brain.
concept being poly.
I know, and that's why I think that's different for you, David. I don't know if you've had that experience. I know I have 2 in my brain. Not that it's like the one that got away, but I'm just like, I think about them every once in a while.
I mean, it does happen, but David, go ahead and
There's one relationship that I've gone back to 1, 2, at least 4 times
Holy shit, you guys dated
Over-
4 times?
over the past. dang, over the past 20 years.
Fuck me.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Well then.
That's it? You're just going to stop there? You
Yeah.
cunt. You're going to leave that fucking cliffhanger?
one.
It was
Yes.
So okay, I'll go over it a bit. I went to Australia. I had lost my drawing portfolio, and I went there with a friend, and I was gonna say I was there. I'm not gonna meet girls. I'm just gonna work on my portfolio, and then I had a girlfriend within a week.
Because you're drawing the animals in the area, which
You were
are
in Australia.
Will you draw me like you giraffes?
No, he's in Australia. Like,
real quick. Did you draw like
knives? You know the ratio
swimming in
there,
the ocean
right?
because that's what's there. They just have any
There's
fucking
like
creature.
7 women
yeah.
to every man there.
Well, isn't that like it's in Switzerland too? Like,
that's probably totally inaccurate, but my point stands.
They
plus
love
he has an accent.
they love American guys. in
Yeah, he has an
Australia.
accent there.
And
I don't know why I'm
it's the
pointing at him.
accent they relate to porn and movies, Hollywood. So
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Who did she relate you to in the movies? Was she like, you look like a Brad Pitt?
Oh, I didn't
Brad
I
Pitts.
didn't get it.
Wow. Is that what you think Australians sound?
No, that's German.
Okay.
No,
Oh, do you look like Brad
You
Pitt?
look- it
Yeah,
doesn't-
don't you know? I can't even do
sound
it.
like German.
I know, not
at all.
Here's the thing: is like my Australian be like, "Oh, you
I'm
look
sorry,
like that Brad
David.
Pitt."
I'm
over there,
sorry this
don't
is
you? I
happening
see.
to
I
you.
can't do it.
Now, don't you
It's a hard
know?
one.
Oh, don't you know?
Basically,
Can you do like? Can you do an Australian for us?
Oh man, I have to practice. It's pretty hard. It's easy. It's harder than the British accent. But instead of they say yo,
Yo.
and then they instead
Right, crikey,
of
mate.
aluminum they say aluminium, and
Aluminium.
That's because they
Adidas
don't know how
instead
to
of
speak.
Adidas, and
Well, it's like
Sega instead of Sega,
Sega. What the
Sega.
fuck?
Oh, I see
home.
what you did
Go
there.
home, you fucking Australian
Nissan
psycho.
instead of Nissan.
I used to know this
Yeah, I have
chick from
questions.
Queensland, Australia, and you could not fucking understand a thing she said that wasn't a cuss word.
You don't go down to the strip, everybody, the fucking body.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like
Christ,
I
I'm
would all the time. I mean, if she was like texting, like she obviously spoke English, right? But like, but you get to talking to her in person. It's just like, hey, that's the fuck, and then the bash your fucking teeth in, and it's like, what? Did you just,
Sounds like rugby.
did you just threaten me or come on to me or both?
All right, but here's my question, David. You got a relationship within a week. What was his name?
That's I can't say names on here.
No, I'm just kidding. I said his name, so it was funny.
Was that funny?
I love that you made the noise before you remembered that you had it.
I know. I just.
I love it. All right, David. Sorry, please continue.
Oh, so we dated, and then but it was long distance, so we kept doing long distance, and it just wasn't working. I don't think it wasn't her fault.
You came
it wasn't
back
my fault.
4 times.
Yeah.
Like, did you visit Australia each time, or did she come visit here? Like, what was?
It was mostly her coming here.
Okay. I'm like, was
and
it
then I
like
would go there.
Zoom hand
I would
stuff?
go. I would go there, but she could only stay 3 months at a time.
Well, I mean, that's not bad.
And then-
you probably just banged it out for 3 months. Let's be real. Did you just bang it out for 3 months?
thing.
You can just imagine 3
Yeah.
months later, and then like, and then you see like David just.
Yeah, he comes out like wildly dehydrated and just like thin,
Emaciated.
Like that fucking with the mechanic or the whatever.
Yeah, the mechanic with Christian Bale. Yeah, just doing his body thing.
There's a lot of making up for lost time when.
Oh my man, I love how like
Making out
subtle
for
you
lost
are
time.
with it. I like it.
is.
Yeah,
But it clearly
for those of
did-
you who can't see, he's beat red right
He
now.
really
I
is.
turned
I thought it was
turned
the
red
lighting.
really easily.
I thought it was the
You're so
lighting.
cute.
It's
This
the
is very
bricks. The
uncomfortable.
bricks
I
are
thought so too.
reflecting
Bricks.
it, Yeah.
So wait, are you still friends with her?
No, actually, we don't talk now because we don't really want to screw up each other's future relationships.
See, I think that's a very
Since it's
interesting
not going to
concept.
work, but we
Hot.
stayed.
You
for-
should nail that
But
again.
most of the time,
Totally. Let that fire burn hot. Keep it stoked.
But
God.
Do
dude,
this.
most of the time we were friends, but we're
yeah, you were
not
friends that
now.
just
Yeah,
wildly savage each other for 3 months at a time.
sort of.
Sorta.
I love how
That's the name of this podcast.
sorta,
Period.
sorta, man,
Wildly savage each other. Yeah.
sorta. No, I mean that's obviously that's a very serious one though too. I mean that was 20 years, like that will still happen, so it's kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think there's a mutual respect, and but
I think you kind of
and
have
it's
to.
not.
at
It's
that
not.
point.
I mean, we was just like we can't do long distance. It just doesn't work.
Right.
We fight too much and all this stuff, and it's just doesn't work. We can't. I can't make her happy from this far away unless we actually
Can't read your
or
vagina.
stay in one place or the other.
fucking shock.
They got stuff called Wii Vibes for that.
Yeah, right. They got toys for
They
that,
got
bro.
toys for that.
You can control it from wherever you're at. So at any point in the middle of the night, she just wakes up.
How
There's
the,
a-
how
Bird
the
and I
missus
bought
and I
one.
get through.
Bird and I bought
Hey.
one.
Vibrating
yes.
panties?
No, we actually bought a Wii Vibe.
What the fuck is a Wii Vibe?
Ooh, you're welcome, boys.
Yeah. Look it up. Google it at work.
All right.
Yeah,
gonna
it's actually pretty good. We haven't gotten to use it in the way that I want to, but I'm working on
Got the
it.
Max,
you wanna
the
wear it?
Wii Vibe, the Lush.
Dude, we went to Bird and I this Saturday. We ended up having a date day, just her and I, and we ended up going.
Again, mom and dad, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
we ended
this
up going
thing.
to the sex shop.
The little U-shaped motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
I've seen this thing all over Instagram. That's the weirdest fucking thing.
Why over Instagram?
It'll pop up on like
and the
Nugget.
cool thing is too, you can leave that in while
It'll
you're
still
doing
vibrate
other
it
stuff.
while you're doing
Yeah,
other
yeah.
stuff.
So like she can just put that on and then you guys can
it
go to
depends
town.
though. It depends. If you guys know what a Wii Vibe is out there, go ahead and chime in on this.
Does that connect
But
to the phone?
It
does.
does. It does,
There's
but
an app.
it like can't you just like move your finger on it and it
Yeah.
vibrates?
Yeah.
The thing that I started realizing, I'm not even that big. I'm a pretty. I would say I'm a pretty average dude. When
Here's the
it comes
thing:
to
average
that.
works is what the vaginal canal is like only 4 inches, I think.
I don't understand how these
even-
big mandingo days go in there, bro.
They
I'm
don't.
Like, I feel like your pussy lady is just like the Narnia door. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where'd that fucking thing go?
Mr. Tumnus is sitting there like, excuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't expect company today.
Could you imagine the little imp on the other side is just like, whoa, you know? Just like,
Badger's like diving into his home, like, no, not again.
Jesus Christ. It's the nothing.
All right, now you're mixing Neverland.
I know,
now
I
you're mixing
know.
Neverending Story
I know
with
it. I know it.
fucking
Mixing mythology.
right.
Yeah,
Can't do it. That's still fucking
Reminds me of
hysterical.
this
Yeah,
gif
dude.
that I saw of this guy who's literally got like a hot dog. He just chucks it down a hallway and just slaps against all the walls.
Bing, 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 bing.
I remember hearing that one a while ago. It was like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I think it was compared to Jen Jameson. It was like that'd be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, which is the dumbest thing because honestly, the vagina heals itself pretty well. So you would
Female body's surprisingly malleable.
So any person who's like,
Surprisingly.
it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. It's like, do you understand fucking anatomy, you twat? No, it's not how that works. Even though I still say shit like that all the time.
Right.
I'm very hypocritical and ignorant.
That's all right. So it's a good joke.
I mean, if you've ever had sex with a woman who's had a baby, like that wasn't cesarean section, then you know
There's
those
a
bodies heal.
No, there's a hilarious joke, and I forget who the comedian was, but the person was like, the girl was just like, you know, oh, deeper. And it was like, motherfucker, I've seen you have a baby. There's no way I will ever do any damage to you or make you feel anything. Don't lie.
Ladies that had a baby. Oh my God, it was so hard having
It
a
was
baby.
so
Ladies
tight.
looking at big black cock. Oh my God, that's so big. It's like, bitch, really?
It's like, really? You push a bowling ball at you.
Yeah. You can take an anaconda, I promise you.
You're fine.
You'll be okay.
You may need a fucking blocker, but whatever.
God. We ended up going to the sex shop on Saturday though,
Nice.
which was great.
How much sex did you buy?
Oh, we bought a lot of sex, like $600 worth of sex.
Nice.
We walked
Shut
out.
the fuck up. Did you really?
Oh yeah, we did.
You bought a blow up doll? Nice.
Oh, for her? Yeah. So sorry.
It's more energy out of it.
Exactly. He lasts all
Did you get
night.
her one of those?
That makes me sad.
Oh man.
Like I laughed, but I felt bad after.
No, don't feel bad. She's getting hers. That's all that matters. The funny part about going to a sex shop, because I've only been into a sex shop maybe 2 or 3 times in my entire life. This sex shop actually had, usually when you go to the windows are all kind of blacked out or they're like hiding things, you know what I mean? This motherfucking, the front windows were just all cock rings and butt plugs. Right on the street, dude.
Unabashed.
I respect it.
Right on the fucking street. But we bought a bunch of fucking stuff. We bought this fucking sling that you put on a goddamn door we haven't really tried just yet.
Nice.
We bought all types of stuff. Man, I was looking for cock rings just because I was curious.
Shit's great.
Are they? I mean-
They're very fun.
Here's the thing, though. I got very intimidated by it because I saw one and it was, it just looked intense. Like the lady like grabbed the box and she was like, this one's really good. This is like, you know, most people really enjoy this one. But then this one over here, this is where you put, you know, this is a thing like this. And then this one, you put your balls here and then you pull this thing over here. And then it's like, and I'm like literally looking at this lady just trying to describe these things to me. And I'm just like, so much sensory overload. I'm a very visual person. You
What's
know
the
what I
point of a
mean?
cock ring?
Well, and so she pulls it out of the box and she's just like, yeah, your dick goes in here like this and it stretches really big and then you put your cocks in here like this and then it's good for her then and it's good for you right in your little taint area and it's like, and I'm like,
Just buy one.
No thanks.
See, here's the thing.
I didn't even buy one. It was
Should've bought
too
one.
much. It was way too much.
The reality is, and I wish he would have explained it to you, is that the biggest benefit of a cock ring is that it stifles like the blood flow. So you can last longer, number one, but it also has a vibration sensory so that like when you're inside, it has a little thing on the top that pushes right on her clit. And it's just like,
Depending on which one you get.
True.
Send me some recommendations, boys.
No, I got
it.
My favorite part though is like growing up, like when we were in Indiana. So like, going into a sex shop, especially when you're in high school. Yeah, we went in there just for funsies. Actually, no, it was
Look at
college.
these dildos, boys.
We actually went in one time in college. So going in, especially if depending on where you grow up, you have this like inherent sense of like, ew, what I'm doing is wrong. This is gross. So you walk in and you look at things. You're like, oh, this is nice. This is fine. Like you're just looking at really random things that don't matter. My buddy wanted to get he ended up, it was called the Blue Dolphin, and it was a cock ring, and it had a little dolphin on the top that would rub against the clit, and then there's a blue one on the bottom as well. It was more for his balls. Yeah. And he looked at like a couple sex tape, like a couple porno videos, like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And then he bought one. He goes, oh, hey, what's that? And he pointed at the vibrating cock ring. And the guy was like, really? You're going to just buy this so you can buy that? Called him out on it. Fucking funniest moment of my entire life.
Nice.
And my buddy was like, well, no, I really just wanted to get one of those. He's like, don't be ashamed of it. 2 seconds later, my buddy who wanted to try to go in there, like he was talking a big game prior to, he's like, dude, I'm going to buy the fucking cock ring, this dildo for my girl. The only thing he bought was KY jelly. Like a little tube. He felt so bad like being in there because there's like this inherent, because of the
guilt
time
going in
well,
there.
there was like, it was the 90s, and it was like there was almost like this shame around it, like if you were sexually honest and open, like, oh, this is a bad thing. So all he bought was KY. It was like me and my buddy walked out with like a couple toys, and like my buddy had like a little whip and like the Blue Dolphin double-sided cock ring.
Nice.
Like we're laughing our ass off. He has this little small tube.
You know what though? That fucking cashier was just like, they're just gonna use it on each other.
So what's wrong with that?
There's nothing whatsoever wrong with that.
Wait, oh fuck it, never mind. I lost my question. Because we've all been inside of a sex shop, right?
Yeah.
David?
Yeah, I've been inside of one.
You shifted really uncomfortably.
David's like,
You shifted
I have
real.
been inside of the shop of the sex.
It feels like sandbags.
I still have I try not to, but I still have a lot of Puritan in me.
I can tell.
Yeah.
But I haven't. One of the last times my buddy wouldn't go, so we went with his girlfriend and then my girlfriend, and they and his girlfriend bought a bunch of stuff, and then he got insulted because like, you think we need all this stuff?
Oh my God.
And we're like, that's awesome that you guys.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's great. I think that's the saddest part is when people get like offended by it. It's like, do we need all this stuff? It's like, no, we don't need it, but it's fun.
Sure as hell helps.
Some people need it though.
Some people do.
Some
absolutely.
people fucking need it.
And more
man.
power
Stephen
to
Hawking
him. Let
for
him have
sure
it.
needed that shit. What?
Dude, okay. Real talk. Real talk. I used to work at Spencer's Gifts in the
boy.
Westminster Mall.
Nice. I love that story.
And
that story.
at Spencer's Gifts, they're like part gag gift place, part
erotica.
part sex toy shop, right? And no shit, this guy comes in who is the human version of the mole man from The Simpsons.
Oh no.
And I mean, I thought I was being pranked.
That's
Okay. This guy had the Coke bottle glasses so thick that like you could have set them like on edge and like rolled them down the street and they never would have fallen over.
That's amazing.
Okay. He was like,
David
looked like an
Cain,
old
too?
piece of leather. He walked with the cane. He had
my
the hunched
God.
back and he had the same voice, and I can't do it, but it was the same mole man from The Simpsons.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
What did
And he
buy,
came
though?
in and he bought some lube and he bought like a vibrator and some other sex toys and shit. And then he like goes about his merry way.
Good for him.
And I'm just thinking like that guy's got to have some, like he's got to either have like a big old dick, a big old wallet, and or both. And he's just bringing that home to mama, you know. And he comes back like a couple days later. And he's like, oh, well, you know, this vibrator said it was supposed to have this many settings. It only had, you know, 4 instead of 7. And like, he's not just like, here, he knows what he's looking for, you know? Like, and it was just like, I can't believe that the actual mole man from The Simpsons came in to buy these sex toys. I'm just like, fuck yeah. I'm like, I want to be that mole man one day. And look at me now. I'm
You're
half
close.
blind.
I was about to say you're
I'm
almost there.
half blind.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
god.
Your contacts are about as thick as those motherfucking glasses anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
That's really the hope for everybody, though. Is for guys, we don't have to really be good looking. It's really about game. You always know us, know people that are like, how did they get, how did they get the prom queen and all this stuff?
How good you are with your hands.
It is. Oh yeah, because
How good you are with your mouth.
going back to
that's
what
a double
you-
entendre for
it-
you boys.
Oh, there it is. Going back to what you just kind of said, Sean. I think there's way too much emphasis on dick size, especially. I think this comes a lot from pornography. Don't get me wrong. Like if you're rocking an inch, maybe
You don't want a micro penis. I mean,
you got a micropene, like someone will still love you. Like
If
don't
you
get
can
me
be
wrong.
for
pussy really well if you
somebody,
got a
that's the only
micropene.
thing that matters. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Love
big
is
old
the
dick.
thing.
When I say big old dick, I just mean like something that works really well for somebody.
Yeah,
Like this guy, I'm guessing probably had, in my mind, he had a trophy wife who was just waiting in the car. Like, and he probably like drove like a Corvette or something. He was like, no shit, he was shorter than 5 feet tall.
I hope he drove a Honda hatchback Civic, just something fucking ridiculous.
No,
I don't even know if that's a
I think
car,
he
to be
hobbled his
completely
way.
honest.
I think he hobbled his
school.
way back out to the parking lot.
He took the senior bus.
Hucked his fucking cane into his fucking sports car and drove off cooler than I will ever be.
Or he hucked it into his girl's vagina.
Hold these.
Now,
Hold it.
all new imagery. This is great. I love you guys.
I love you too, but no, I think there is way too much emphasis on that because I agree. I think a lot of it is just like intimacy and level of comfortability. Like there's a whole lot going into it besides just one factor of like, yo, you rocking 9 inches? Nah, not at all.
No, fuck no. God, I'd be miserable if
There's a hilarious
like
joke.
my
It's-
fucking water bottle here just
that'd be
swinging.
uncomfortable for everybody involved. Holy
Like
shit!
you watch some pornos and they've
like an
got
8-hour workday
It's
right
like
there
no,
for somebody.
yeah, definitely.
It's like the size of my forearm, and you're just like, why?
Who wants that?
Yeah.
Some girls
I mean,
like,
like,
oh
you
my
know, hey.
god, and you're like, we all know inside you're going, oh no, like it's not.
You're like, you're cute, but
I mean, could you imagine
gotta
having
punch
that
in.
boner?
Oh no, I've definitely had a conversation with women where I was like, I asked him, I was like, is there such thing as too big? And like all the fucking time. Like one girl broke up with a guy because she was like, I can't have sex with you. This hurts way too much.
Yeah.
Like, and I honestly, I felt bad for the guys like that. Must really suck. But like you just said, there's always a girl out there for somebody. There's a
female
guy out
body's
there
surprisingly
for a
malleable.
girl. Like there's,
I'm telling you, like, Jesus. I'm telling you, man. You just got to get
Fit all kinds of things in there.
average size penis with a really big personality.
100%.
That's what I'm going for. That's my.
You're good.
I think that's all
that's
four of
the
us
game
go for.
that I've got.
I secretly think Dave is rocking like at
A
least
big hog?
eight inches.
You want-
I think Dave doesn't have a.
100% is. Look at that face.
no.
Holy shit.
I'm thinking Dave
No,
doesn't have
I'm
a
not
left
claiming-
leg. He's just got a
I-
shoe
You're
on
not
the head of his
claiming, you're
dick.
not denying.
Yeah.
No, I feel like a lot of relationship is emotional. Like one of the first girls I was with, she went to buy me condoms because I was too embarrassed, and she comes back with magnums, thinking that that's what I don't wear a magnum.
You don't?
But she just
What it look like a
clearly
raincoat?
decided-
Is just like an oversized raincoat.
was all
This
over-
isn't big enough.
So we're not all wearing magnums. Okay.
And then
I'm a regular sized Trojan man.
yeah.
Hey,
No, here's real talk. Real talk. I actually hooked up with a girl who only had magnums, and she put it on me. I was like, wait, this actually fits. Like, I'm 100% not rocking above.
fuck you.
I'm not rocking above like 6, if that.
Everybody thinks it's just
Same.
because of the branding of magnums. I mean, they fit everybody.
You know
it
what? We're
fit not-
dancing around it, boys. We're dancing around it.
Are we about to pull our dicks out?
No. Fuck no. Just can you just take a fucking word for it? Jesus.
That's a
Gary,
lying
how
face
big's your
on it.
dick?
Me, 7.
7?
Get the fuck out of here,
wide
really?
or
What's that?
wide?
Long?
Or
You have a
Yeah, it's
7
like a-
inch.
it's like a
You got
toad tongue.
7 inch
It's like-
long boy?
6.5 to 7, give
That's
or take.
impressive, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Now is that like are you like a 7-inch pencil?
Are you
or
a
you
grower
like
or
a
are you a
magic marker?
shower?
Oh, I'm most definitely a grower.
Oh, grower.
Most
Full on.
definitely a grower.
Dude, when I'm not hard, it looks like a pinto bean on top of a sack of pinto beans.
No, bro. The way that I'd say it is like if mine looks like a fucking a mushroom growing in a grass of moss. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just kind of chilling.
Yeah. All right, David, you're next.
Just average-ish.
Just average.
Oh, come on, man.
Just in the realm of average.
Come on.
Yeah, well.
We're all just, oh my God. Yeah, that.
Did he just?
Okay. All right. What all the ladies want to know,
Oh, Jesus.
Matt,
No ladies want to know this.
how big's yours?
Just shy of 6, like 5 3/4, maybe. Yeah, because guys definitely measure it. Any fucking guy who says they don't measure
I did it this
lying.
week. I was curious.
Wide.
Is that circumference or?
I mean, I can fit my hand around it, but not like, pencil grip.
Well, guys, now we all know each other's dicks.
Without showering, which is a
Without
shame.
showering. Oh,
Hey, that's how I knew my friend's dicks in college because we all played soccer. There was one dude who had a fucking hog. Like, it was embarrassing to get in the shower.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah.
That's why your quads are so thick.
His nickname was
carry
Thor.
that fucking thing around.
His nickname was Thor because he was rocking around Mjolnir.
Oh my God.
what we called
Look at little meow meow.
Oh, his meow meow would fucking ruin all of us.
My dick's been called a lot of things, but not
Not
meow,
meow,
meow.
meow.
No, I've
Meow,
never been
meow,
called
meow.
meow meow. And there's a terrible it's not
Jesus
like
Christ.
it's not like a meme or anything, but it was on Instagram. But I had to ask a friend, a girl I had hooked up previously. We're still friends, but I had to ask her because after I saw this, I was like, oh, fuck me. But this girl, like it's one of those things where like there's a strobe light going around her face, like a different colors, like red, blue, green, like something stupid. But it says, and above her in written letters, it's like, if she says it's the perfect size, ... it means it wasn't big enough.
Oh my God.
So I definitely had to text a couple of people, like, hey, did you lie? And they're like, calm down.
Calm down.
You just,
Listen,
I told them where I saw it from. They're like, do you trusted Instagram? I was like, yeah, I see my
I mean,
flaw.
I'm insecure. I'm sorry.
100%.
I'm sorry.
It was insecurity, but they're just like, are you fucking kidding me? It's Instagram. Shut up.
turns out your ego's just the right size.
My ego is clearly deflated. Very flaccid, as it were.
Well, gentlemen, talking about flaccid, I think this is the time for us to call it.
Okay.
It's a good show.
I enjoyed it.
I did too. Thank you guys. Now I know every one of you more intimately, and I'm grateful. And hopefully, you guys out there know us a little bit more
Wait.
intimately.
David, did we get your size?
Yeah. He was average.
Average-ish.
Yeah.
You said average. Okay, we didn't get an exact measurement.
Well, guys, I think we're going to call it there. Thank you guys for listening. Everybody out there, go measure your dicks, please. I'm having a hard time ending this
Measure
one.
your man's dick.
Measure your man's dick, I guess.
Did you make a pun? I'm having a hard time. ending this
having a
one.
hard
Christ.
time.
Ended on that one.
Yeah. All right, everybody. If you guys enjoy the show, go ahead and give us a thumbs down because we don't give a fuck. So I appreciate you guys. Love you. Thank you for
you too.
listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
So long, goodbye. Have a nice day, try not to die. Be good, farewell, and have a wonderful trip. Try not to let your pretty little heart skip. Be strong, keep your head up high. Try not to fall into an opal style upon your first try. I'll see you next time you decide to come visit me in the zoo. And by then I just may have written a song about you.